Good day to you. Today we begin a talk on the TikTok generation, living through and beyond the limelight, so that our brilliant TikTok generation, the influencers, they will keep being brilliant even after the meteoric 7 years. So keeping your brain creative for more than 7 years.
Recording in progress.
So this is a talk for all influencers, TikTok generation, the bright trillennial generation, and for parents and even grandparents, because they sometimes have a closer relationship with the TikTok generation. So my first point is enjoy your front rank TikTok influencer status while planning for longer term success. So we don't want you to fade off fast. As it happens, you can take some steps to keep your best years yet to come and keep being in your best years. You cannot be top of the charts, YouTube all the time, so please plan for life after limelight while you're enjoying the present exposure. Point number 2, much use of LED screen, LED light and amygdala-based emotion with overstimulation of kinesthesia will dumb down the executive empathic creativity. Now you know that even to produce music or lyrics, you need executive empathic creativity from the prefrontal cortex. So this scientific talk, which I'll make it as simple as possible. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. My last academic post was as head of Department of Pharmacology in a state medical faculty. That's why I do a lot of pharmacology talks. And what I like to bring to your notice today is that how you can keep being brain brilliant for a long period of time and keep being creative, reflective, responding. Rather than move to the top down, there's a bottom part of the brain that works through the amygdala, hippocampus and hypothalamus. Top down meaning the bottom up, that's the bottom up. This is top down, this is bottom up. Top down is thinking through, initiate, navigate, and you go for that successful end conclusion, and you have the reward motive, which is momentum for you for the next hour, because our brain works by our design. That's how the Good Shepherd designed it. So every hour, brain wants to record a reward motive and an ability to improve yourself. That's how Good Shepherd has designed the brain. So if you, because of the constant repetitive nature of your work, if you keep having the old thing all the time coming on many times, what happens is you shift to bottom up. That's through the amygdala, the old thing going on rather than new creativity. So I want to give you some tips about how you can prevent the old repetitive, the boring, the depression and fatigue, chronic fatigue that people on YouTube and on pixel screen get now. So I'm your friend, I'm on your side, young generation, so I want to give you the tips that will keep you long-term successful, not fade off. We don't want you to fade off. So much use of the LED screen can dump down executive empathic creativity. So please do brain exercises to keep your executive empathic track strong. So what are brain exercises that while you're a lot on the music scene and so on, what are the brain exercises to keep your the intelligent tracks, creative tracks, bringing out new things, puzzles, card games, board games, and we have devised, I have presented this to the Sri Lanka Medical Association as a method of keeping brain bright and coming out of digitization. Digitization is when your brain has less RAM memory and a lot of background sound. It's a kind of a work stress situation of the brain, and your neurons begin to fire from all directions, which is not good for your memory and your performance and your creativity. Of course, it disturbs your sleep also. So we have devised a thing called GARTS, Grips and Ropes Thrill Sport, GARTS. It looks like a gymnasium, and it uses calisthenics, the weight of your own body, to keep your muscles good. But beyond that, the grips and ropes track course, I will, if you send me, I will send you a clip on it if you send me your WhatsApp number to +94 76 313 4800. Don't phone it. It's only a WhatsApp message number. And also you can download my app, Golden Nuggets, Dr. Lalith Mendis. Golden Nuggets. It has all my science and reason talks as well as my spiritual talks, and that's available from App Store and Google free of charge. So we want to keep your brain as bright as possible for your next 7 years, not only these 7 years. That's the purpose of Grips and Ropes. It looks like a challenge course. We are located at Colombo 8. We will let you and have a chance of looking at it. So how Grips and Ropes works is, more your joints work, especially the small joints, the fingers and toes, work on friction. Your sole and palm works on friction. So all the ropes bring about the friction, and also the small joint movement, even big joint movement. So we have low ropes, mid ropes, and high ropes, which of course you have to be with harness and helmet, and there are crash pads and all that. Teams used to come and do this. COVID has sort of disrupted some of this. School teams, prefect teams used to come, and coach used to come and do this as a team exercise for brain brightening, and immediately the students experience that their digitization craving goes down, because they are bottom-up feeding, wanting to do the last thing again and again. That's what bottom-up regulation is. The last hour drives you this hour and the next hour. That's not brilliance. That is repetitive. Brilliance is every hour a new thought, every hour a new music. That is creative. Every hour a new lyric. That's what empathic, creative, executive is about. There's a prefrontal cortex behavior. That's where we want to shift you and keep you, so that you continue to be a brilliant trillennial with a great future. So this is called empathic motor therapy. I presented this research paper to Sri Lanka Medical Association. It is available on the College of General Practitioners website. Also, it is I have presented I can send you to the clips and the theory involved in it. Even this talk is available as a document if you send me a WhatsApp to +94 76 313 4800. How to keep TikToks ticking longer and longer. So this is about understanding the executive empathic track of the prefrontal cortex, keeping it functioning, and then not going bottom-up regulation repetitive. Point number 3, do your utmost to avoid alcohol or other stimulants, because your most empathic, musically creative neurochemical transmitter is GABA. So every hour we do dopamine for salience, work for focus. Dopamine works like that for 40 minutes and comes down. Then serotonin takes over, which is called the default mode network of thought. This is point number 4. And then what does serotonin do? Looks back on your last 40 minutes and helps you to look back and take stock of how it was. And serotonin always moves you to the reward motive so that you can do better. So serotonin looks back and says, that was good, that was this, I need to improve this. So serotonin talks improvement. So that's why you must maintain your dopamine cycle and the serotonin cycle. If you don't give time for serotonin to work, you get dopaminergic. You get dopamine addicted, dopamine driven. That's what cocaine does. So when people take cocaine, what happens is they want to keep doing the same thing more and more and more and more. That's not brilliance. You blunt down. But how God, the good Father, the good Shepherd, designed our brain is to, the default mode network works for 40 minutes salience, and next 15 minutes for satiety. Satiety means how to feel satisfied. That is very important in life. How to feel rewarded. So the reward of this hour motivates you, is momentum for the achievement of the next hour. You can say this with me. reward of this hour is motivation for achievement of the next hour. So every hour you have a good record and you keep saying well rewarded. If you lose the sense of reward and start getting a diminishing reward for more investment, that's what cocaine does, that's what stimulants do, then your endorphins begin to say life is not worth it, it's painful, it's a pain. So that pain addictive behavior comes in. Internal endorphins begin to increase to keep you sort of pain free. It's a morphine effect. So when you, this is a little complicated pharmacology, when you switch to, when you are feeling bored, I'm not well rewarded, I don't like this, that comes after stress, that comes after too much digital screen, that comes after too much LED lights, that comes after too much cheap thrill, endorphins begin to secrete and make you be a crybaby inside, and you go and then it becomes a way of life. And then when the internal endorphin cooling feeling is not enough, you start taking morphioids or morphine or heroin to feel cool in the midst of stress. So that is how this kind of digitization and this behavior under high tension makes drug addicts. So my plea to your generation is, please don't take external stimulants, because our brain has been well designed by the Good Shepherd to keep stimulation, satisfaction, satiety and salience all well balanced. Then what does alcohol do? Every molecule of alcohol blocks a receptor of GABA. What is GABA? Gamma amino benzoic acid. So what does gamma amino butyric acid, what does GABA do? It brings you that empathic feeling of connecting with your own emotions. Now you see a sunset, you say gorgeous sunset, or you see a certain scenario that is evoking music. Got that? Certain scenarios evoking music. I'm going to talk about this, the 7 gifts. That second part of my talk is the 7 gifts. First part of my talk is caution. Second part, that's how a doctor applies. He first goes caution, then he gives the creative. Yes, that's how doctors do. So in my second part, I'll tell you how to keep your imagination fresh and very productive and creative. So what GABA does is, it's a neurochemical transmitter that latches on to that which is deeply stirring in you, and it helps you convert it to music, convert it to lyrics, convert it to art or craft. That's where the GABA connect the empathy. The empathy is a great gift from God. The feeling together with someone's sorrow, with someone's joy, feeling together with beauty and imagination. That's what keeps humans brilliant. That's a faculty God has set in you. Make the most of it. You take alcohol, GABA is blocked. Then you understand GABA makes you sensitive, feeling for others, bringing the best out of you. Think and do, think deep, and all that is gone when you take every bit of alcohol, every teaspoon of alcohol. It's gone. Just a warning, I did this before also, that if you are pregnant mom, you must not take alcohol at all. That's a recommendation of the Royal College of Obstetricians. If you are pregnant, don't take alcohol at all. It really dumps down the brain of the little one inside you. Same with the brain of young TikTok influencer. Every bit of alcohol suppresses GABA and you lose the empathic connection. You feel at loss. Then to get stimulated, you want some more. Then it is the stimulant that is working on old things that work for you. That's what alcohol does. But keep your GABA free. New thoughts come, new lyrics come, new music comes. Yeah. So I did GABA, I did the default mode network, where if you keep on agitated on dopamine, dopamine doesn't come down, then you become dopamine addicted. The DA receptor, dopaminergic 1 receptor, is physiological. It works for 45 minutes and comes down. But DA2 is addictive. It doesn't come down. Then all the time you want to do the same thing again and again, increasing indulgence with less reward. That's a recipe for disaster. Please write down. Increasing indulgence with less reward. That's a recipe for disaster. This is true for any age. Point number 5, it's good to keep playing a stringed instrument in your private hour, though you are mainly a singer, or even if you are playing some other instrument. The string instruments, the sense of vibration, is the one that keeps brain's gamma fibers it's the fastest moving sensation, so proprioception and vibration is very good for your brain, to keep your brain neuroplastic, growing new neuronal connections and so on. This is true for older people who have nothing to do with TikTok. If you keep playing on a stringed instrument, any musical instrument is okay. I have a clip number 272 for prevention of Alzheimer. I have a little post also. So if you want that, send to my WhatsApp number +94 76 313 4800. Send Alzheimer doc or Alzheimer clip, then I will send it to you. You can share it with friends. So good to keep playing a stringed instrument, and then tweezers and anything that increases your grip and small joint movement is good. Point number 6, avoid run down and practice run up. Don't let friends abuse you. So appreciation, affirmation, approval, and accreditation. Accreditation is you need people to tell you the truth also. So that there has to be assessment, right assessment that friends give you, coach gives you, that you keep improving. Then point number 7, there's a triangle that works in you. You are entrepreneur, you are manager, and you are technocrat. So you must get someone to assist and see whether you are using music and singing skill, whatever else. That's a technocratic skill. That must be balanced with managerial skill and entrepreneurial skill. All 3 are in us, just that some are stronger in one, others in the others. You need to know your balance. Entrepreneur in you, manager in you, and the technical person in you. Yes. Then I strongly suggest that you grow your caste early: character, attributes, skill, and knowledge. So if you are down in character, then even if you are up in other things, people do not like to relate to you. You lose ground. Then you must keep up in skill and knowledge. You might be a very nice chap in character and attributes, but if skill and knowledge are dumbing down, they will say he's a nice fellow, but. So you need to have character, attitude, skill and knowledge all tuned up. Get an assessment done. That's how you keep long-term successful. Yes. So my main plea is don't live for the year, don't live for the hour. Live for longer with the best design Good Shepherd has for you. Then here's some important advice about food. Avoid junk food with additives because they get into you and they begin to stimulate and you will want more and more. Also, to have a full meal, it grows satiety and it helps with serotonin. If you take serotonin-rich food like fruit and vegetable, and some berries are also rich in serotonin, it also helps in the melatonin creation, which is my further point, which helps sleep, memory, creativity, and immunity also. So I said a lot there. It's about the diet. Less you take refined foods and stimulant foods, the better it is. Yes. They should not be in your diet. Yes. Point number 10, avoid LED screen as much as possible after 9. Of course, your kind of job may involve working after 9, but on the days that you can avoid the LED screen and blue light after 9. So your bedroom must not have blue frequency, not blue light, LED light, which emanates blue frequency. Your washroom should not have LED lights. They say orange is the best for the washroom. Researchers are saying when you wake up in the night, it doesn't disturb your sleep at all. Similarly, when you get up in the night, don't look at your LED screen, WhatsApp and whatnot, because you need to get your good night's sleep. So if possible, Do your best to sleep by 11 so that you get your dream cycles properly. Brain has REM sleep and non-REM sleep. And getting that melatonin-directed sleep is very important for performance and creativity. It's good to watch sunset as much as possible. Come out of curtains and watch sunset. That's a natural way of kick-starting your melatonin cycle. By 6 o'clock, more LED lights in the evening, more melatonin affected you become. So what does melatonin do? It controls or regulates the entire brain program for the night. God has a dream weaver program for our brains where all the lymphatic system, the glial cells, work all over the brain to get additional sachets of neurochemical transmitters out, and it smoothens all the wear-tear effect of the neurons. This is called the lymphatic system of the brain, cells moving all over the brain. And melanin has a very good effect on chromaffin cells of the brain, as well as melanin has a very good regulatory health-giving effect on chromaffin cells everywhere it is found. So it is the chromaffin cells in the sexual organs as well as the breast that develops cancers if you are very sleep disturbed. That's an aside. That's just by the way, just for you to get an understanding how good it is and how important it is to keep the melatonin life flow as God has designed it. All you have to do is mind your sleep, mind your digital activity after 7 p.m. Now, in the TikTok influencer generation, you are involved in a lot of digital activity. So get some breathe easy times to restore your brain pattern that is important for your good brain health and for your creativity. So this is about the LED screen. And then in the morning, do your best to wake up as many days as possible with sunrise. That's the best way to kick off the chronobiological clocks, insulin clock, growth hormone clock. So as you wake up with sunlight, sunrise, your melatonin goes down, and the light's photosensitive retinal cells quickly take up other functions. That's how you keep brain bright and brain brilliant. And melatonin, keeping your melatonin effective through the night gives you good immunity, because melatonin acts on immunity. It gives you good memory, working memory, and you wake up in the morning feeling fine. You feel refreshed. Otherwise, you feel woe begone. And young fellows blame this, that, and the other in the morning when their sleep has not been physiologically good. So how do you know that your sleep is physiologically good? You will have dreams initially around about 1 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock you should be asleep. Don't disturb sleep every day. That's my message. And try to catch up on it. Then by 1 o'clock you start seeing dreams. First it'll be bad dreams, upsetting dreams. But as 4 cycles go on, REM, rapid eye movement, dream sleep, no dream sleep, non-rapid eye movement. You wake up, before you wake up by about 4 o'clock, you will begin to see good dreams. And some dreams can be God speaking to you. They are refreshing dreams. If you wake up with bad dreams, that means your sleep is disturbed. That's the main medical point. So this is about sleep clock and keeping melatonin doing its work so that your brain will continue to be brilliant. 11, keep your relationship with home and family intact while you get famous. Don't give up on your near dear relationships. You need them to give you balance and perspective. Assess those who leech on you. Don't be available to be leeched. Do not get abused by friendliness. Friendliness is a good thing, but don't let others abuse you. Point number 12, casual sex is always degrading, devalues you, and the injury can be long-lasting. Fix your eye on one lifetime long marriage, lifelong marriage. Marriage is for once and life partner is once. Make it precious by keeping all you have for marriage. Do not waste your virginity on playtime. And keep your identity, point number 12, keep your identity, male and female, because Female brain functions differently from male brain. Many functional differences. For instance, the female brain is more connected left and right, more perspective, more broad picture. So don't violate it, because you'll do best when you keep your DNA gender, biological sex. So transgender and LGBTQ are not creative things, nor are they progressive things. They hurt you deep, yes. So keep your male or female identity. It is important for your performance life. You'll do better with the identity God gave you. Then point number 13, remember to, yes, this is the point I made, remember to keep your biological sex intact, because you need complementation. Sexual identity is important for long-term success. Female brain is better at visual perceptions, broader perspective, handling diverse situations at the same time. Male brain compartmentalizes for better management. Male brain choose one at a time. So you go deep in one thing at one time, which is also good. So work with what God made you. Now I want to get you onto the gift side. There are 7 gifts that will work in you. So every gift has a grace and a measure. So grace is, it has come to you. Be thankful for it. If you work with Good Shepherd's intention, then you have an added facility of help. Gift, grace, measure. So some people are called to be world-renowned. Others are called only to be locally renowned. Same with finances. Some people have financial ability to run a company that provides livelihood for 10,000. Other people have ability to do their livelihood for their own family. Yet others in between to run a little business enterprise for 10 people to earn livelihoods. So gift, grace, and measure. I introduced a triangle earlier to you: entrepreneur, manager, and the technical. Keep all 3 sides functioning together. Now the 7 gifts, the first one is called the speculative gift. It's the imaginative gift. That's from where music comes, because you are thinking. Empathy is working. You have heard a sound, you have seen a scene, you have had a thought. Then comes empathy and imagination into music, lyrics, and artwork, knitting work, craft work. All that involves imagination. So speculative imagination and forecasting, seeing the future. All artists have that nature. Entrepreneurs also need to see the future, actuaries, where to invest, the opportunity, the space, and the time, the opportune time. So that's a faculty that Good Shepherd has given us. Some have more of it, others have less of it. All of us must have some of it, yes. So that's a speculative, imaginative, forecasting, future seeing. Also it has this thing, feeling what others don't feel, seeing what others don't see, and hearing what others don't hear. For instance, you sit someone, you hear behind their talk, they're talking, but you have the ability to hear what they're not saying, see what they're not showing. So that is a gift of empathy, very useful for influencer's life. So keep it sharp and add to that teacher. So all of us need to be able to teach and able to learn things that are in. So teacher, he has a inflexible personality, so to say, because you have to have some things, chords can't be changed just like that in music, for instance. So music has a very strong part of teaching, isn't it? Everything is not imaginative. Everything is not speculative. Some things are pegged down. That's what the teacher is. So ensure that you also have a teacher's ability, acquire it, get trained in it. Third thing is serving. All of us need to be servers in the little things. That makes for greatness. I repeat, serving in little things makes for greatness. It's a gift. You might become a famous person, but keep the serving. The Greek is diakonia. Keep the serving along with you. That'll take you to places. Even if you go before a king, he will recognize this person has a serving attitude. He will want your company. just because you are a listener and a server. You may be brilliant in your field. Why I speak this to you, I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. I in my Colombo Medical Faculty, every exam, I was batch top. Every exam. We had only 2 medical faculties then, Colombo and Peradeniya. And of the 2, I became the best student of both on graduating with many, many gold medals. But I did not know serving. I did not know serving attitude. At a certain stage of my life, my head was so big, my brain was so bright and brilliant, nobody anywhere near me. I was so, impossible. Then I realized my heart is shrinking. So through certain circumstances, I realized that science can't do everything, because science was my God. I realized science can't do everything. I realized more scientific knowledge I added, the more brain bright I was, and more hard-hearted or shrinking-hearted I was. I often say brain and heart follows Boyle's law. You may say, what is Boyle's law? It's a law of physics, simple, basic thing for pressure and volume. When pressure increases, volume decreases. The physics way of saying is the volume is inversely proportionate to the pressure. Same with the brain. As brain increases, your heart begins to shrink. At that point of time, I began to inquire and learn a little about the Good Shepherd's design for humanity. I felt it's rational, and it really appealed to me. So that's how my change of thinking came. I began to realize that I'm not becoming better by knowledge acquisition. In fact, I was becoming approved. I could defeat any argument. I have a brain that just accumulates facts and facts and facts. It is still so. But with the Good Shepherd coming in, I began to understand life is a garden, and he needs to cultivate it. Man is not only brain, man is spirit, man is heart and conscience in balance, heart for desires, conscience for the rule of thumb, and then man is imagination, and man is also emotions. So all these are in balance, and then of course we have the great cognition upstairs. So that's a little perspective of why I'm interested in this. So I said imaginative speculative gift, the forecasting. Secondly, the teacher's gift. Thirdly, the server's gift. Serving is a very important principle to grow a team, grow anything. Even family needs serving. Serve in the little things. People will remember you always. Fourth thing is coaching, coming alongside, encouraging, coming alongside. The Greek word is paraklesis. That means coming alongside. At the point you are strong, the other is weak, your strength is made available. We are called to be benefactors with all what we have. The one who has less of what we have much is the beneficiary. Yes, money is a secondary thing. This is how Good Shepherd has designed life. Then the fifth thing is the ability to handle money and what we do with money. Even if you are only a wage earner, with your wage, you support the electrician's job, electrician whom you call home, the plumber whom you call home. So you are only a wage earner, but you are already supporting with your wage another man's job. That's how Good Shepherd designed jobs and work fields. On the other hand, you may come into wealth by birth or by earning, then 50% for you, 50% reinvest in a work field to develop livelihoods. Then you are on God's side, then you are doing the Good Shepherd's way of doing life. So the fifth quality is about how to manage money. Manage money generously, meaning others also have access to be helped and earn from your monetary investment. That's what generosity is. I mean, you may give some money away for whatever worthy cause, but make your money work for others. That is generosity. Be intentional about it. Sixth one, leading. And you must have the gift of leadership to know that to provide the space, the time for all your team members. That's what leadership is. So the Good Shepherd says, I provide your table. Even in the midst of enmity and adversity, I provide your table. So what is this table? The placement, the people, and the provision that have to be in your life. That's the table. And that can be a seasonal table, and some of it is a lifelong table. So always ask the Good Shepherd, what is my table for this season? Placement, people, provision. That's the way he will do life with you. And he will appoint the hour of restoration. He says, I will restore your soul. And he provides for you the paths of righteousness where you don't go crooked, where you don't fall into a pit, where you don't run against the obstacle and hit your head on it. So he promises that also. So it's good to know him. The seventh gift is mercy. We all need that. You can't leave mercy only for some people because we have a promise, blessed are the merciful, for they shall be shown mercy. This world is a much better place if we have a bit of mercy to give each other. Mercy is that you treat that person at the best of his. Mercy is treating a person at your best when he's at his worst. I repeat, mercy is treating someone at your best when he's at his worst. That's why we need the Good Shepherd in our life. So this, so if we are in the mode of righting wrongs, WRITING, everybody's wrong, you write down. Social media is full of that kind of behavior. But God is into righting wrongs, RIGHTING. So mercy is about giving your best at the point of another's worst. This is the principle of the cross. The best was invested when we had no claim for it, that we may benefit from the dividends of that investment. So these are the 7 gifts. I repeated: the forecasting, the teacher, the server, the coach or the encourager, the Barnabas, the ability to make your money work for others also, while you get rich, certainly. Sixthly, the leader. And lastly, the mercy. So thank you for listening. Please share this with the TikTok generation. Those digital helps I gave you, few other digital helps where you work. If you have a rough choir woven carpet and keep scratching the sole of your foot with it, then take games like table tennis, carom, all are very good. Then I told you about the empathic motor therapy. Our center is in Borella. You can get directions if you send me a WhatsApp to that WhatsApp number, +94 76 313 4800. The Sri Lanka one would be 076 313 4800. And then wherever you are working, to keep shapes and keep touching shapes and keep a small choir rope ball and keep pressing it like this, or keep pressing on tough clay, you get in bookshops real clay, earth clay. So this activity of your fingers moving around. Then I shouldn't forget to insist that more you handwrite things in 2 languages, more the brain keeps brilliant. This is a way to avoid Alzheimer's also. But even for young people, if you keep some amount of handwriting going, don't give up. Because man's best gift, most brain brilliant gift is handwriting. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't go everything on the digital screen only. Keep handwriting growing. So because this activity of the letter movement, you write, G like that, another letter like that, so that clockwise, counterclockwise. That's the principle of the mechanoset also, which makes brain brilliant for young fellows. But if you are a TikTok influencer, doing a bit of mechanoset kind of work keeps your brain pliant, neuroplastic as well. Same with Lego. Mechanoset is better than Lego. Puzzles. So that increases your brain pliability. I told you, more executive, empathic, creative, you keep your prefrontal cortex. Don't go bottom up to amygdala, hippocampus. More creative, lyrics and music you will be able to do. Thank you for listening. being